What's going on, everybody? I hope you're all doing well, and welcome back to another episode of my trades. Before we get into Bitcoin and the rest of crypto, let me go ahead and show you guys and update you guys on my portfolio. Then we'll go into the technicals for Bitcoin and crypto. So without further ado, let's go ahead and update you guys on the portfolio. So as of the last 2 days, guys, I didn't make any type of modifications to the portfolio. At the time, 64% cash, 23% Ethereum, and 13% Solana. As of right now, that has changed drastically. So now I'm in 42% cash. Solana is now my new alpha, and Ethereum is my beta. So Solana is at 35% allocation, and then 23% allocation in Ethereum. These are my unrealized gains right now so far in the positions. If we total up the unrealized returns, it's about like $700, something like that, $700, which is pretty good to see. Again, I'm a positional trader. I have no intentions of taking profits right now because I am bullish for the rest of the year. And I'm going to explain why to you guys, and we'll go ahead and get right into the technicals. So let's go ahead and get to Bitcoin first. So as of right now, guys, we're going to go through the technicals. So Bitcoin is looking very strong. Volume looks very good for Bitcoin. Yesterday, with the Fed meeting, there was some volatility yesterday. You guys can see this humongous wick on this, what was it yesterday? 16th? No, 17th. Yeah, so you see this huge wick and this humongous hammer candle towards the upside, which is a bullish indication, right? So, sweep the lows, and we've seen this little breakout today. Now, right now, Bitcoin is not able to break this trend line, this 2-month trend line that we've been in the last 2 months. So, or is it 2 months? About a month and a half, right? So we don't have the strength right now to break this trend line, okay? So, which that can change over next 24 hours. But what I'm seeing right now on my charts is that Bitcoin needs more liquidity, right? So potentially, this could be speculation. I do think there might be a short-term correction, very, very small, slight correction, where we possibly go back down to, I would say, no more than the 15.5, maybe even 16, right? Because I do think Bitcoin will remain and respect the daily movement average. I don't think it will cross below that before we get a nice bounce. Right now, the markets are trying to digest the Federal Reserve cutting rates yesterday. And what's not priced in is the Federal Reserve is intending to cut anywhere from 5 to 6 times from now till March, right? So that's like a 6-month window. That means that pretty much every meeting from here in the next 6 months, the Fed is going to have more of a bias to cut interest rates. So they have leaned their policy more towards maximum employment and kind of deviate away from inflation. So right now the markets are just kind of like, people are probably wondering like, well, how come we didn't pump? How come we didn't really pump that hard? Blah, blah, blah. Give it some time. Be very patient, okay? Be very patient, because if you just look at the technicals, you can read the charts, right? That time will come, right? For the rest of September, we may just consolidate. I don't know. Maybe we do, maybe we don't. But what I'm saying is that give the market some time to digest the move, okay? This will take anywhere from a week, 2 weeks, maybe even 3 weeks. Who knows, right? But I'm still bullish, right? My bias has not changed, right? So even if we see a short-term correction, okay, which would be healthy, right? That to me is going to signal a nice V-shaped recovery to break this trend line that we've been in for the last month and a half. Even with Ethereum is in this consolidation phase right now, okay? All of crypto, most of the crypto, big, larger caps are all in consolidation. So again, look at Ethereum. Ethereum still has not broken into this trend line, right? It's wicked, it's tried, right? But it's failed to hold above this trend line. Okay, so there's two trend lines, multiple trend lines for Ethereum to break. And Ethereum has to break this first before we can go back up and retest all-time high. And once we retest all-time high and we confirm all-time high and go above that, to me, that will signal the true alt season that everybody's been seeking. But these have to play out first, okay? So short-term correction, I could see Ethereum going down to 4,500, maybe even like, 4,450, right? The most, right? If we can look at the EMAs, So, I mean, it can go as far, it can go as low as the 20 EMA on the daily chart, right? So I don't expect to pump out of this yet because we're at resistance right now for everything. Same thing with Solana, resistance. Solana tried to break this trend line, this 9-month trend line that we have been in. We've been in consolidation during this entire time for the last like few years. And even Solana is trying to break this, and Solana has not broken this. Now, will it eventually break? Of course it will eventually break. But right now, short term, for like the next few days, maybe even to like a week, there may be a little bit of a short-term correction, right? Maybe, right? So for me right now, I'm not gonna buy this right now because I do think Solana will come down to 235, maybe even 225, right? And the rest of this cash, I'm not gonna be buying right now. If I do, I may scale just a little bit in, but the bigger buy is gonna be that short-term retest, right? The small retest that I think is gonna happen in the next few days, up to a week, possibly, right? I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I'm just reading the trend lines, guys. I'm just reading the charts to you guys. So let me go ahead and just look at the indicators really quick before we end and wrap up this video. Right now, the RSI for Bitcoin is still looking very strong. I just checked, I think like a few minutes ago before I started this video. Looks very strong. I mean, it's way above the gold band. It's respecting, this gold band. Has not diverged, and it's not crossing below the gold band. So this is still in strength, right? This is still in strength. It's not overbought yet. So again, Bitcoin, I could be wrong. Bitcoin can break this trend line, right? It could. It's a matter of it can hold above that trend line, right? Maybe something happens where it does this, right? Something happens like this where it does this. It does this. It breaks out of this, right? We go to like 120, right? But then we come back and retest this trend line. Then we head back up. That could possibly happen. That could possibly happen, right? This scenario could happen where it crosses over, retest, boom. That may be in the cards, right? So again, the RSI is not overbought, okay? But another indicator to keep in mind and take a look at is the stochastic MACD, which is one of my other favorite indicators. So the stochastic is crossing over the baseline. That's showing good strength. But right now on the MACD, there is some fading right now on the buying volume, which is indicating to me that there's less buying volume right now, which indicates to me that there could possibly be a small term, short-term correction, right? I don't know why I said small term, short-term correction. So again, correction will be very small, very, very, very small. And when that correction comes, that little bit of a pullback, that little bit of a retest comes, that is when the opportunity will come and present itself for me to allocate way more cash into the positions, right? But as of right now, I'm remaining patient. Things can change over 24 hours. My bias, my opinions can change over the next 24 hours. But I'm not really leaning on my own opinions. I'm just looking at the charts and I'm relying on my systems. Always rely on the systems rather than your own emotions or your own bias, right? So as long as the technicals back up your bias, that's good. That's sound technical analysis. So anyways, guys, I hope you guys learned something today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I appreciate all the new subscribers that have come in the last few days. I appreciate the support. I'm almost at 50 subscribers. So I do appreciate if you guys do sub to this channel. I do appreciate all the support. Like this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.